Hello everyone, welcome to Men on Fire. My name is Mike Aren, a former mechanic and engineer turned transformational teacher. And each week I'll deliver an inspiring message to help you excavate those repressed inner negative feelings and install new thoughts that will finally allow you to truly become the person you were born to be. Hey, one more thing before we get going. Are you feeling stressed, anxious, or frustrated these days? If you are, and you'd like a little help, go to calendly.com/soul mechanic booking and book a 15-minute clarity call with me absolutely free. That's Calendly, CALENDLY.com/soul mechanic booking. Also, if you're looking for an accomplished public speaker to speak in person or virtually at your next event or meeting, I can help you out there too. Okay, let's get on with the show. Welcome to another episode of Men on Fire here on Soul Mechanic TV and Soul Mechanic Radio. Well, I had quite some good feedback about my last episode, and I wanted to kind of follow that up then with it's a book, but my good friend Mike Dooley has wrote a book, and it's entitled The Top 10 Things Dead People Want to Tell You. So I thought that would be perfect to kind of follow up what we talked about last episode, which was where do we go when we die? And I know that the number one fear that most people have is the fear of dying. Okay, maybe some of you are going to argue that the worst fear you have is public speaking, which is also known as the number one fear. And to those people, it's funny because they actually would rather, if they would have to speak at a funeral and deliver eulogy, their feeling is they'd rather be in the casket than actually delivering the eulogy, because they'd have to stand up in front of people and speak. So that is a number one fear that a lot of people have, is public speaking. However, I am sure that if you took a worldwide poll, the ultimate fear, number one fear that people would have, is that they have a fear of dying. And I think that large part has to do with that we don't understand death. So it makes us afraid of it. We don't want to get there, and I don't want to die either. However, it is inevitable. There's one thing that I know for sure, and that's none of us are getting out of this one alive. So we have to accept that and move forward with that. And I find that the more you understand about death, the more you understand and can enjoy and live fully your life. So the number one thing I'm going to start with, and Mike has this listed in his book. There's 10 things in the book, and he goes quite in depth. And I'm only going to go to a couple of points on each one to kind of deliver something that makes sense to you, and then invite you to purchase his book and read it thoroughly. You will find that so comforting, especially if someone close to you has passed away, or there's somebody that due to certain diseases like Alzheimer's or something like that, or cancer, that they may pass away in the near future. It's comforting to read those words. So the top 10 things dead people want to tell you, and the number one thing is they're not dead. And you see, we are all energy, and we discussed this in the last episode of Where Do We Go When We Die? And through quantum physics, we've discovered that things are all made of energy waves and particles, and these particles are protons, electrons, neutrons, and they make up matter, and we are physical matter. We are made up of things that come from this planet, and maybe some other planets that came via stardust, but that's for another topic. Anyway, we are all energy. That's all we are. Our body is electrochemical energy functioning to keep us alive, but at its core there is an energy that is universal, and it's universal to all of us. It's universal to everything in the universe, and that is universal energy. And so we're all made of that. And the laws of energy are strict, and they say it cannot be created or destroyed. It just is. So all it can do is change form. So it's like you boil water in your kettle, right? You start out with maybe chopping a frozen ice block from a lake. Now, stay with me here. So you've got, let's say you take frozen water, which is ice, you put it into a pot or a kettle and put it on a wood stove, and then it changes form and changes into water. Is it any less water than it was? No, it's just a change of form. And if we continue to bring heat into this water, what eventually happens? It starts to boil, doesn't it? It reaches a temperature where it starts to boil, and it changes state once again into steam. So it's like it's evaporating, and it evaporates into the air, and the air then contains much more moisture. It contains all that water we brought from the lake is in the air where you boiled it. So it is still water. It will condense once again, and it will become water again. And if you put it back outside on the porch in the winter, it would freeze again. So we're constantly changing form, and that's what we're doing as well when we changed form to come into this physical realm, because we wanted to. We wanted to be here. We wanted to discover new and wonderful things and have an adventure. And that's why we came here. But we're at a different state, but we're still us. We're still our core soul is still there when we go to the realm of the absolute. So the physical body is not the center of it all, believe it or not. I mean, I know the world would have you believe that it's just you against the world and you're the center of everything and you've got to conquer everyone and everything and dog eat dog type stuff. I mean, that's just consumerism and capitalism, and they want you to do that to make money to buy stuff and, you know, keep up with other people. That's really all that is all about. You can consider our bodies then as mere garages, I would say, that we park our soul while here in this physical realm. It's not permanent. Car will leave the garage one day and drive down the road and not to be seen again, because it will return to where it came from. And we are eternal love. And time, as we know it, in this linear fashion that humans have constructed, is an illusion. And Einstein proved that. And our spiritual energy never, ever expires. We are eternal gladiators here to enjoy the adventure of it all. And when we pass, there is a darkness maybe initially, wherever you believe you might go into a certain realm or purgatory or whatever, but then the lights come back on and we're back in the realm of the absolute, and we laugh and we're filled with true bliss and we understand everything, and it's just infinite love. We can't believe what we're filled with, just infinite love for everything that exists in the entire universe. And then we say to ourselves, I want to play again. And you decide to park your soul in another garage and be in human form again. And the caveat is, you're not supposed to remember your past journey. So you start anew. It's all brand new. Everything's new again. What a wonderful experience. Oh my gosh. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. Anyway, so again, no one ever dies. One door closes and then another door opens. So the number 2 item of the 10 things that dead people want to tell you is, there's no such thing as the devil or hell. And I know some people might disagree due to religious beliefs or whatever, and that's totally fine. You're entitled to your own opinion and belief systems. Absolutely. I'm not trying to sway you in any way, shape, or form. However, there's a few things we can get from this, and that is these things, the devil and the hell, it's just made up. They were human constructs made up in an era where people wanted to corral and lead others. They're trying to get power over other people. And the best way to do that really is to literally put the fear of God in them, right? Look, I'm really close to God, and if you don't behave and do as we say, you're going to go to hell forever. That's basically what they were saying. They're trying to put fear into you so that you will do what they want you to do. And there's absolutely no traction at all if you start telling people, hey, did you know that you're the one and that you can create anything you desire and there's nothing but love, kindness, and compassion out there? Do you think you'd just blindly follow that person? You might. And you'll say, you know what, I agree with you. And maybe it's the beginning of a movement. However, to try to get you to, like cattle, to go into a certain stall, no, you're probably going to pick your own stall, aren't you? But if they can confuse you, lie to you, and tell you this is the way it actually is, and if you don't, these are the consequences, and burning in a place of damnation that will last forever, for perpetuity, obviously is a good way to do that. So if you want to be in power, it just won't work. So you make up stuff in order to keep people towing the party line, so to speak. And maybe that sounds a little bit familiar to you, perhaps what's going on now in the world. But hell is not knowing the truth. Really, that's what hell is. Hell is not knowing the truth of who you really are and living in a world full of lies. Yes, that's right. You are in hell right now. Now, number 3 on the list of what dead people want to tell you is we were ready. So they didn't just die willy-nilly at all. I mean, what could be more painful in thinking that we only live once, and then when someone's life ends, there's this entire stream of infinite possibilities that they could have still done that just fades away into nothingness. I mean, that's painful to think of. But they want us to know, those people that have already passed want us to know that they were ready. It was their time. No one dies before their time, no matter how strange or freaky or bizarre the circumstances of their death, and no matter their age or how it happened. You can think of it kind of as we'll use a movie analogy, for example. When you sit in your lazy boy or you go to the theater and watch a movie and you watch it in its entirety, it all starts making sense. Everything is logical, sequence, timeline, and all that sort of thing. But really, when they made it on the studio lot or at the remote scenes or whatever, sometimes they film the ending first, and then they go back and then maybe shoot the middle and then shoot the first and then back, a 3/4 way through. And then through the magic of editing, everything is put together in a sequence that makes sense and is the movie you see. So that's kind of what's happening to all of us. We don't really see what's going on behind the scenes on the movie lot or behind the curtain, so to speak, of events that are taking place and lining up to make this happen at a certain time. So when someone passes away, we say, oh, they went before time. It's not true. They went when they were ready. When the soul is ready, it will leave the body, and not until then. So there's always meaning, purpose, and order to people leaving this physical realm. Okay, we've been talking about the top 10 things that dead people want to tell you. And number 4 is you are not ready. You are not ready to leave. If you're still breathing and listening to this podcast, then that's conclusive evidence that your work, your adventure on Earth, is still unfolding. It doesn't matter if you're bored, angry, have cancer, anything. If you're still here, it is not your time to die. You're still learning, growing, and your objectives are being met. Surrender then Just surrender and enjoy your life while you're here. Live your life. Don't worry about when you're going to pass away. You just will when it's time. I certainly hope you don't have to experience a lot of pain before you pass. My parents both passed away from lung cancer, and I know what that pain can look like. So I hope you don't have to experience pain along with it, but you, by just waking up and breathing, are not ready to go. So live your life. Keep going. Experience it. Do everything you can in the time you have left. And when you pass, that's all happens. You just pass and change form into a new spiritual energy. That's all. You're still you. You're still going to be alive. Your energy is alive. Just your physical body passes away and returns to the earth and to the dust that it came from. That's all. Just like a fallen tree does. It no longer lives. 10 years later, you have a look where that tree was. Nothing but dust left. And that's the same thing your body does, because it's physical. But your energy is who you really are. So, number 5 on the list is, we are sorry for any pain we caused. So, number 5 of the 10 top things that dead people want to tell you is that they're sorry for any pain that they caused you. Because once they cross over to the realm of the absolute, they'll be able to feel what others in their past life felt when they interacted with them. And they want to tell you that they're sorry. They were having a bad day, or they shouldn't have acted the way they did, or said those things they said. And remember, all of us in this physical realm, all we're doing here is the best we can with what we have from where we are, from this very moment. So if at all they have caused you any pain, harm, or bad feelings, they do say, we're sorry. Now, number 6 on the list is, your dreams can really come true. And yes, they want to tell you that this is not just some silly saying that people say all the time. You know, the American dream, or the dream to do this, or I have this dream to do that, and it doesn't have, you know, I'm not trying to label a country, but everybody dreams around the world. We all daydream or dream of things we want to be or would like to go, or things we could do. And you should have those dreams. And thoughts become things. And I've talked about that before too. And that's one of Mike Dooley's main mantras as well, that thoughts become things. And that's the law of attraction. And it works. So keep thinking those positive thoughts about all the things that you desire. Okay, number 7 on the list of 10 things that dead people want to tell you is, heaven is going to blow your freaking mind. I mean, heaven, it's the realm of the absolute, is just bathed in love and completely understood, which means you're going to understand everything when you get there. Everything that ever was in the universe is and will be. You will understand everything. It'll all make sense once you're there. And you're able to go wherever you want. In the past, present, future, which really doesn't exist because it's only the now moment, which is the present moment. But, you know, you can visit other realms, other dimensions, planets even. You can go anywhere you want. You can be in 2 places at once because we're energy. We're just energy waves. And joy and clarity will be absolutely everywhere. Heaven, and when you get to the realm of the absolute, is going to blow your mind. I'll guarantee you. So, number 8 then is the life is more than fair. And you know, for most of us, this doesn't seem to jive with what our physical senses tell us, really. Because we see things that happen to us, and we experience those things, and we see things that happen to other people. And we say, that's not fair. That shouldn't happen to them, or that shouldn't have happened to me. I wasn't treated fairly. But if you look at it a little bit different way, we are all inclined to succeed. We're all here to succeed, and we have many more successes than failures if we just look at it. In fact, the cards are overwhelmingly stacked in our favor. And when we look at those things, the times that we succeeded, I know we're not keeping track as many of those, but we're keeping track of the times we failed or think when we weren't treated fairly, right? Because our minds here in the physical realm are made to look at the negative much more strongly because it helps keep us alive. So that's what we're looking at the most, and we're keeping track of that. But if you could actually take a tally and go back and remember all the times you succeeded and things really went your way, and then the times that it didn't, you would see that the times that you were successful overwhelmingly outnumber the times that you were failed or treated unfairly, at least in what you think was unfairly. And think about this too. Bad things don't happen to good people, okay? Because when you look through the lenses of eternity, then nothing is really bad. If you could look through the lens of eternity, then nothing really is bad. It's just what we make of it. And everything that happens to us just makes us more. So it really isn't bad in the long run. It might seem so in the short term, but it's not. So people say that, well, why do bad things happen to good people? And this goes along with this life isn't fair discussion. But it really isn't bad. Everything that happens to us for a reason, and it makes us more and stronger. So nothing is truly bad. Now, number 9 on the list of 10 things that dead people really want to tell you is, and I love this one, your old pets, your dogs, your cats, your fur babies, feather babies, whatever, will be there to greet you with more wagging tails and sloppy kisses and chirps and the like than you could ever imagine. So don't worry about that. You will see everybody you ever knew in any lifetime, and all your pets, animals as well. They will be there to greet you. And I just love this one, having already had a number of pets in my lifetime. So I can't wait to see some of them again. Anyway, so, and number 10, the very last thing that Mike Dooley has in his book that is entitled the top 10 things that dead people want to tell you is that love is the way and truth is the path. Love is the way and truth is the path. Very profound words. And that's what they want us to know. So we went over these 10 things in kind of point in quick form that dead people want to tell us. And I like the title Mike used in his book. Once again, he's a friend of mine. I've attended his coaching sessions, and he's a wonderful person. And he's written many books and mentored me in my life. And it would be a great mentor for you. You can find his book. Actually, probably the best way is just to Google it. And it's the top 10 things that dead people want to tell you by Mike Dooley, spelled Dooley. Look him up. He has more than that book, but this is probably his best-selling book, really. I think it's distributed through Hay House. So please look him up. He's a wonderful person. And if you like this discussion at all, you'll find so much more interesting things in that book. Obviously, I just went through this very, very quickly. So thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope this served you. I hope maybe it was a little bit of an adjunct to the last episode of Where Do We Go When We Die? And I thought it was a good time just to add this on because I did get a lot of comments on maybe some of the stuff. So I decided to throw this in there. Anyway, thank you so much for your time, and I hope this served you. And thank you so very, very much. And bye for now. Hey, are you having trouble living the life of your dreams? Guess what? You're not the problem. It's not that you're not smart enough, deserving enough, or even hardworking enough. The problem is that you haven't yet installed the one key belief that will change everything. Want to know what it is? You're the one. That's right, you are the one. The world is waiting for you to give it that one special gift that only you possess. Want to find out more? Head to my website at micahwren.com to order my new trilogy, You're the One. The first 2 books are available together in an omnibus book with the exciting final installment of the series available soon. And while you're there, download a free ebook or 2 to help make a difference in your life today. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. As always, keep what feels good and dump what doesn't. And remember, live without judgment, give without expectation, and love for no reason. Follow those 3 simple expressions, and you'll be well on your way to an inspirational, intentional, and successful life. Until next time, you're the one.